I'm just done with this. I don't want to participate. And I don't care anymore. I got a story to tell you. Yeah, this never happened. What am I doing? Hi, how are you? Good. Can I get... I know it's going to be good for me once I get out there. I mean, 4 hours sleep. Just want to make a magical elf go to the car and get my shoes. When you get home at like 3 o'clock in the morning, the last thing you want to do is... I had so much stuff in my hands last night. Food, quality of sleep, consistency all have an impact on my heart rate. And if you're like me and you want to know what works and what doesn't, stay tuned, take a look at the end of this video because I'm going to review all of it and put it out on the table. I got my shoes. I forgot them in the car last night. It was a 3-hour drive home last night from a buddy's cottage. And it was... Man, I had a lot of time to think, you know. I have friends of mine who aren't doing well, and, you know, they're like, how do you run as much as you run? How do you get out and do 10 kilometers every day? How do you do a half marathon on weekends? Like, how do you just do it when you're getting old and you feel miserable and your body just aches? I have a lot of thoughts and I have my own opinions. And I'm no expert in any of these matters. I'm just some guy who likes to run, makes videos, and likes to inspire others to be better in their life, to be able to show up for themselves, to get out and run, and by heart rate, and lose weight. I mean, I just love helping people. And when I have friends who are struggling with mental health, with weight, with self-worth, it's so hard and it's heartbreaking. And I just don't know what to do about it. Why do I say this to you guys? Because look, I'm just like you guys. We all have people who are struggling in our life. And it's just a matter of showing up. Like this morning was really hard. I got less than 4 hours sleep really last night by the time I got home. But these are excuses. And, you know, I battle it just like you guys trying to get out the door. I know it's good for me, but I just... It's one of those things, right? Sometimes you just got to do the hard thing. And this morning, running is going to be hard, even though it's nice weather, right? It's quiet. Like, you know, people are home. It's March break. I show up. I show up for me. So here's to all of us who show up. Here's to all of us, even if it's just 100 meters that you run. Just get out the door. Just get out the door. If you can do that, typically things get better throughout the day. Let's hope today is, you know, you kind of get shattered. And I'm very empathetic, so I kind of take a lot of that on, like a lot of that emotion, and it affects me a lot. It's a gorgeous day. It's going to be great to be out there. I need to go for a run today to kind of get through all of those emotions and how I feel. And, you know, how's my heart rate going to be today? I don't know, but I'm running and that's really all that matters right at the moment. This can end in 3 different ways. One is I stay on the path that I've chosen. Number 2, kind of steer off the path and take a little bit of a detour, or kind of throw your hands up and say, I'm just done with this. I don't want to participate. And I don't care anymore. The run is done, but I am still buzzing from the coffee that I had yesterday. 4 cups and not a lot of sleep and a lot of driving. Oh my gosh. It doesn't make for a good run the following day. I'll just tell you that. Looking at the results, it's inevitable. It's going to happen, and you're just going to have to suck it up and get on with it and move on. Like that's what goes through my head when I have these crummy runs. just be grateful that you were able to run. And really, that's the end of it, right? Just be grateful. Be grateful that you've got 2 good legs and a good heart and you're able to run. Like, seriously. I mean, it's not very complicated. When I decide which heart rate method I'm going to use to train with, each method comes with its pros and cons. And diet plays a very big part in that. And when I say that, this is what I mean. You see, the big thing that I find when I am training using heart rate is my diet plays a very, very big role in where my heart rate goes. And I find if I'm consuming a lot of ultra processed foods, bagels, muffins, donuts, if I have too much coffee, too much sugar in my coffee, things like that, pop, whatever it is, right? I find that things don't go very well with me on my runs and my heart rate is much higher. And then I kind of beat myself up about it, and I shouldn't, but I do. And that's just the reality of it. However, if I ditch all of this food that doesn't serve me, things change. And I find that I improve so much more when I cut out the garbage. So I can be very consistent in my runs. I can get out there, I can do what I need to do. I can put in 6 miles, put in the 10 kilometers. I can do that. If I'm not consistent with it, it comes with a price. And my heart rate goes up and down, my pace goes up and down, and I don't really enjoy it. However, when I've got that consistency, I've got that flow. And when I'm in that flow state, man, there's nothing that beats it. It literally feels like I'm on top of the world, and it's an amazing feeling. However, if I get off track and I don't stay with my consistency, I know what happens, and things kind of fall apart, and I come up with excuses of why I don't want to run, and whatever, it's too cold, it's too hot, it's too hard, it's too, I don't have time, like just whatever. I come up with whatever excuse. But I know deep down in my heart that I love the sport, and I know how amazing I'm going to feel when I hit that flow state. So I get out and I run. Now, when I hit a plateau, like if I realize that I'm just kind of going through the motions and I'm looking at my heart rate on my runs and I'm looking at my time and I don't really see much improvement, one of the things that I incorporate is I add in some speed work. I add in some tempo runs. And that's what I did during this, week. It really started to make a big impact. I just started to run faster and I started to just enjoy that process, get the leg speed going. When you hit that plateau and you add in some speed work, man, it feels really, really good. And then when you do an evaluation like I did and you start to run at your MAF heart rate or lower in your zone 2 training, base building, what happens is you get faster. That's what happened to me. It was flipping awesome. It was like a light switch turned on. I'm getting faster at the same heart rate. Now, I know some people are going to turn around and say, Dave, that's just because you're more consistent. You're in that flow state. But let me tell you, you add in a little bit of speed work every now and then when you feel like you're hitting a plateau or you're not enjoying your run anymore. If you just add in some of those tempo or threshold runs, end up running faster the following week when I did that. And I got faster running at a low heart rate. However, by adding in that speed work the previous week, it really made an impact and it kind of kickstarted my system again. But then when life gets in the way and it knocks you down a few notches and you're running and the ego gets involved again and you're drinking caffeine or you're eating food that you shouldn't be eating or you're stressed. Like, I've been stressed. I got a lot of stress going on right now, just with a lot of dealings with work and whatnot. And when that happens, your heart rate rises and then you kind of beat yourself up because you're like, oh man, I should be improving, but I'm not. I'm kind of regressing. That's why you journal, to see exactly what's going on. And then you can take action on what's happening in your life. So either you can go down that road and just say, quit and I'm done with it. Or you could evaluate and say, whoa, I know where things are at. I know what I need to change. I need to either get more sleep. I need to change the food that I'm eating. I need to change the environment that I'm in. I need to get rid of some toxic people out of my life. I need to meditate. I need to run a little bit faster to kind of kickstart my system. Whatever it is, you got to take action. So those are 3 ways that things could go. And I'm happy to show it on STRAVA. I'm happy to show it on my runs, and I'm happy to share it in my videos if it helps just one person in their running, in their heart rate training. If you're wanting to get faster, or if you're wanted to run longer, or any of those things, it works. But again, you just gotta get out of your head. I'm just gonna be honest and straightforward with you guys. It can be hard looking at the flippin' numbers that I'm seeing in my runs, but there is a positive glimmer of hope in here as well. This is what happens when I go out for a run. My cat hangs out in my bag. My gosh. But do the sport you love to do and get out and run.